here on Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. We're broadcasting from Venice, Italy. But Secretary of State John Kerry is heading to fly to Cuba for a ceremony Friday to open the U.S. Embassy in Havana. So we're going to turn now to an artist who's here in Venice who used art to challenge the U.S. embargo of Cuba. Duke Riley's with us, spent 4 years planning and 8 months breeding and homing a kit of 50 pigeons in Key West, Florida. His goal was to prove that pigeons could make the 90-mile flight from Havana back to Key West carrying Cuban cigars, which are banned in the United States. Riley also installed video cameras on the pigeons. He began with 50 pigeons, 11 returned. Duke Riley called the project Trading with the Enemy. Duke Riley joins us now here in Venice, Italy, at the Venice Biennale, the oldest, most prestigious art exhibition in the world. Duke, welcome to Democracy Now! Explain what you did. People are scratching their heads.
Well, pretty much what you described, and I was pretty impressed that you used the word kid. That was pretty good. Yeah, so basically I trained, I spent about 4 years planning and about 8 months training some homing pigeons to carry Cuban cigars.
Wait, how did you do this? I mean, how do you train them?
Well, pigeons have a natural ability to, homing pigeons have a natural ability to find their way back home, and then you just sort of
So you release them in Cuba?
I don't really go into too much detail as to how the pigeons got into Cuba,
now,
but they...
What kind of cigars did you strap around each one?
They were cohibas, sort of the
on each of these
most coveted
pigeons.
Yeah, and they were like sort of little harnesses that were made out of bra straps.
And cameras as well?
Yeah.
And they flew to Key West, Florida?
Exactly, yeah.
Were you aware there's a trade embargo? Were the pigeons?
You know, I didn't get into a very serious political discussion with the pigeons, but I was definitely aware of the trade embargo, and with the obviously with the Trading with the Enemy Act, and that was definitely... So
how do you know the pigeons made it to Key West?
Well, there was a loft that they were homed out of, and that's where they returned to with the cigars, and And their cameras successfully filmed their voyage. Yeah, well, it was important that we, as I said, yeah, there was 50 pigeons, and 25 of them I trained to carry the cigars, and 25 to carry these very tiny cameras, so that I could, film the process and prove that it actually happened. Well,
Secretary of State Kerry is headed to Cuba right now, and, well, at least relations are going to begin to be normalized with the U.S. Embassy in Cuba, the flag being raised, the one in Havana we covered just a few weeks ago, the one in Washington, D.C. Your thoughts as an artist who, well, attempted to break the embargo a little while ago?
Yeah, well, I think that when I was doing the project, I was, mainly concerned more with the fact that I failed at the Trading with the Enemy Act was completely unconstitutional, and it is different than an embargo.
I want to thank you for being with us, Duke Riley. Did the Trading with the Enemy project, and we'll link to it at democracynow.org. That does it for our show. We want to thank the wonderful people who worked with us here in Venice, Danielle De Giudice and Alberto Arcier and Francesca and Andrea and Peter Uriase. Also thanks to Mike Burke, Amy Littlefield, John Hamilton, Dennis Moynihan. Democracy Now! Is produced in New York by Renee Phelps, Laura Gottesdiener, Dina Guzder, Nermeen Sheikh, Sam Alcoff, Robbie Karen, Steve Martinez, Honey Massoud. I'm Amy Goodman. Thanks so much.